All right, guys, what's going on? How's everyone doing today? It's Tuesday morning here in Sydney, Australia. March 10th, it's 8 a.m. I know the Americans, you guys change your clocks because my first client on Tuesday mornings, my time, lives in America. It's a fitness client, and I was a little bit late, so we had to reschedule it because I didn't know that you guys turn your clocks back. Anyway, hopefully everyone's well. What we're gonna do today is spend the first, we'll say, 5 to 10 minutes and talk about this past weekend. And then we're going to turn the page like we always do and talk about what's in front of us. We have a lot of fights this week, both boxing and MMA. And we have a lot of wins to talk about this past weekend. So we'll get into that. Before I continue, pinned here in the comment section, join our JSB Boxing Insider community. It's the Johnny Says Boxing Betting Academy. Shout out to the boys in the Discord. That's what we really are. We are a growing community. We just hit this past weekend while you guys were away. We're at 406 insiders now. It's a couple bucks a month. If you want to join the Discord, become part of our betting academy. It's not just boxing, it's all pro sports. Couple bucks a month pinned right there. You can either enter our chat via YouTube, become an insider on YouTube, or you could enter on Patreon. It's a couple bucks a month. As you guys are tapping in, let me know where you're coming from. I'm going to say my hellos after I do a real quick rundown, just so everybody knows I see everybody in. We have a lot to talk about. I just add this to the stage. This is what we did this past weekend. And so we had the Eye of the Tiger card of Montreal, in which we always do really well with that. Historically, if you're new to the channel, what you're going to learn is the strategy, and you're going to learn how to kind of have an eye for who's the promoter, where's the fight taking place, how big's the ring size, who's the A side, that sort of thing. So it's not just telling you who's winning. I gave you guys 10 tickets, 8 of them hit. And if you're in America, if you're basically in anywhere other than Australia, the plus 2,800 parlay hit. If you're on sports bet like me, it didn't hit because the draw voided, and we'll get into that. So the first ticket we hit, and these are all plus money. These aren't just two big favorites, and there you go. These are, last weekend we hit 7 tickets. This weekend we hit 8 tickets. The week before we hit 5. All the receipts are up, and they're all plus money. We hit Fendero on points. That was our Eye of the Tiger prop of the week. That was plus 170. We did another Eye of the Tiger finish prop. That was Butler by knockout. That was plus 110. We did an Eye of the Tiger double. We did Arobio and Butler on the same ticket by knockout at plus 200. We did a Japanese dog where there's a Japan card. Ohata. That was our dog of the night in Japan. We hit on Ohata at plus 120. These are all plus money tickets that we're not just throwing shit at the wall and hopefully something sticks. You guys are seeing my tickets. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about that in a second. Because I've gotten a lot of messages because since January we're on quite the run. And I want to explain why that's relevant, that you actually see my tickets. I don't just tell you my picks. You guys are getting them before the fights take place. So we're all into this together. That's why I always say community. The UFC, we went 1 for 2. We missed on one of our tickets, but we hit our prop of the week, RoboCop at plus money by stoppage, and that was plus 180. And then Zuffa, we hit everything. The biggest one for me was, I was telling everybody all week, Jai Apataya on points at plus 180. That was the first bet I put in early last week. I had to get kind of abused all week by the Aussies. Todd, you don't know shit, Johnny. You're in Australia. Jai's going to knock Brandon Glanton out. I go, dude, I'm betting Jai to win. I'm betting Jai to win on points, and it has nothing to do with Jai. This is a value play, Jai on points, because of how tough Brandon Glanton is. This is what we do when we gamble. We don't bet with our hearts. We bet with our wallets. We used strategy. We knew Glanton had a 3-inch reach advantage. We knew Glanton had never been stopped. We knew Glanton played college football at 270 pounds. We knew Glanton was super durable. So all of these things, when you're looking at value money and you see it on the screen at plus 180, this is why we chose him. And it was, dude, these fights to go the distance are stressful because it looked like he could have been stopped, but things went our way. And then the double on the Zuffa card, Vlad Panin and Rubio. We did a dog double. We broke my cardinal sin, did a dog double, and both of them hit, and that was plus 330. So all of our tickets are always plus money. I'm never going to give you a ticket where it's not plus money. So know that as well. And the one thing I wanted to say, and we're about 5 minutes in, I'm going to say what's up to everyone. I see the super chats. However you can help the channel, like this video whenever you tune in, hit subscribe, join our JSB Insider Discord. The super chats help me a lot. And I'll give you, I'm going to say thank you in a second. But the one thing that we do here as well, guys, is I'm not just telling you who I'm taking. You guys see my tickets before the fights happen. I don't know how anyone else does it. I don't follow anybody else in terms of who is doing it like this, but this is how I figured through your questions over the last 6 months. This is what makes the most sense. If I'm going to tell you my pick, I'm going to show you my ticket, my betting app. And so that's another thing if you're new to the game. It's full transparency. We don't always win, but we win a lot. And when you guys win, I win. It's a community thing. I'm going to say what's up now to everybody. Shout out to Mario in the back. I don't know why I like that little Mario plush toy. I'm a nerd. David in the house. David with the $50 super chat. We up. We are up, man. If it's good to be up. It's kind of what we do. And we're just gonna roll it forward to the following weekend. We're gonna roll it towards this week. Hello, Johnny. We up, my guy. I got Sims by the boys are already looking at the week ahead. We're gonna spend the first half of this live stream talking about this weekend, and then we'll make a decision to talk about what's in front of us. Yeah, the Rubio comeback, dude. Rubio fought so brave. Rubio fought so. You know what that Rubio fight reminded me of? It reminded me of vintage Chico Corrales. Like he fought so brave at not like he was hurt bad. The second knockdown, in my opinion, was a bit of a buzz. His feet weren't settled. He gets hit with that shot and he kind of backs up. That first knockdown was bad, man. That first knockdown was pretty brutal. And you saw him shaking it off. There's one thing the more fights you watch, when you see a guy get buzzed, knocked down, and you're like, wow, they're out of it. They're just on cruise control. They're on sort of airplane mode. And then there's another time when you see a guy get dropped and he's pissed he got dropped. He kind of like hits his glove. That was Rubio. And man, we couldn't have asked for a better all action packed fight in an 8-round. There were a few of them. We hit on Panin. I told you guys about Vlad Panin going into the fight. I told you guys that, if you were going to take anything, when you talk about one of the things I like to do when I'm looking at who I'm taking with a lot of these fights are, you can't just look at records. You can't just look at their last few fights. You have to look at what are they doing? Who are they sparring? Are they sparring partners? We talked about Vlad Panin being sparring partners of Ryan Garcia in the past, Vlad Panin being sparring partners of Tank Davis. We talked about, I kind of felt that Sherrard Bunch had peaked when he was in his late teens. He was a very storied amateur. And I thought the bookies had that wrong off jump. So we did well with seeing that. You got to sort of dig a little bit deeper than just the record. You got to sometimes look a little bit deeper. And that's what I'm here for. It's kind of like as soon as we finish this next 20 minutes on this live and we start talking about the Barboza Junior Sims card, we start talking about the Japanese card, we start talking about the card in the UK, I'm going to start sending messages. I already have messages out to people about these fights in front of us. Who are they sparring? What gym? Have they switched coaches? All these sort of things. And it's worth the research to do it this way. What's up, Will? Will Bonin. Rubio made an epic fight. Yeah, man, he fought so brave. Those fights were awesome. I kind of got into it on the Zuffa. If you go to Zuffa's Instagram, on the Zuffa IG page because people were making fun of, or no, my bad. All the Smoke. It was All the Smoke podcast. They posted about the Zuffa card. They posted a post about Dana White talking, and people were they said that these fights suck. They said that what are they putting together these fights for? Zuffa's gonna be gone in a day. I'm like, dude, these fights were awesome. Like if you're a true boxing fan and you're not a casual and you do what we do, you watch every fight, you make money on matchmaking. These Zuffa cards, man. I mean, this was my biggest win on the Zuffa card. I'm still kind of. I told you guys going into this weekend, it was half unit for me. We're still figuring out Zuffa's style in terms of matchmaking. We know they give a lot of prospects, a lot of opportunities, and we know there's a lot of 50-50 fights. And right now, the odds makers have been in our favor because the dogs have been barking. How would I rate Jai's performance? Look, everything I say, this is one thing the boys understand, and um, as boxing fans, we know Jai is one of these characters in Australia. If you say anything publicly that isn't aligned with him being the baddest dude on earth, the best fighter in the world, top 10 pound for pound, if you say anything that doesn't agree with that, you're called a hater. I'm not sold. I'm still not sold on Jai. I think Jai gets beat by David Benavidez. I don't know, man. Like he's technical. He's a great boxer. I just don't know if the product that they're selling to the world is the product that people say it is. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't. We'll see. I'm not quick to ordain anybody as the greatest ever. He's only 30 years old. He has big fights in front of him. We'll see if I want to see what he looks like against Benavidez. I want the we can't. It's weird how we just dismiss Zerto. I don't know. Was there? What's his? It's hard for me. I don't think he's not in my 10. He's not in my pound for pound list. But that's just me. We'll get to these in a second. Thomas Gorman, I appreciate the support, guys. It's really a team effort, Thomas Gorman. If you guys are in the Discord, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you guys are in the Discord, you'll know how it's a team effort. It's not just getting my picks. It's paying attention to the live chat in the Discord during the fights. There's so much money. If you guys have a sports betting app that allows you to live bet, that's one of the best values, boys, is getting in the Discord during the fights, tapping in, and seeing the constant chat of all these sharps in there. Hey, this fight's trending this way. It's the third round. Does anybody see a stoppage? Well, the stoppage is live, or the draws were live. Let's smash the draw. And so that sort of thing. Jai UD was a good bet. Glanton, we knew it, Will. You know what I'm saying? We knew it. We got super chats coming in. Husky, my guy. The David Tua image you had me at. Hello. Learn and earn. Thank you, Johnny. And this week, we hit the reset button. We go again. That's what we do. We talk about it. You know, this is what we do every week. We meet here. We meet at the cave. We talk about it, whether we win or lose. And then we talk about what's behind us, but we turn the page and we move forward. Yo, Johnny, crazy hits it. Yeah, man, Rando, we're on fire. We're on fire. We keep rolling it over too, boys. We keep rolling it over. Yo, what's up, Johnny? That's you for card. I agree, El Gallo Negro. It was awesome, man. Look, I just want to. It's very rare in boxing, and I'm not trying to get too esoteric with this comment, but I think at its core, the sport of boxing is meant to inspire. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare, and these are the performances we remember historically. The Boom Boom Mancini performances, the Diego Corrales performances, the Evander Holyfield performances, performances where guys have to pick themselves up off the canvas, the Arturo Gottis, the Mickey Wards, the fights we remember inspire us. It's been a while since I've watched I was inspired yesterday watching some of those fights, specifically the Rubio fight. Shout out to that kid, man. It gets me emotional because think about choosing boxing as a profession. It is, and think about how many people who have made a life of it but still end up dying broke. Like it's a tough path, man. and you got that kid from Whittier, California. So Whittier is Southern California. I lived in Long Beach for. I always talk about. You guys know this. Whittier is just a suburb north of the next one north of Compton. So as you're going towards the South Bay, so as you're entering, a couple miles before like you start hitting Torrance, it's right before Torrance, and then Torrance you start hitting sort of hitting the 710, 405 towards like Redondo, Venice, etc. But Whittier's a tough little place. And he looked like he was out of the sport for 4 years. One of the main, because I'm a coach, one of the main reasons I was leaning on him is because people are, oh, but he's been out of the sport for 4 years. I'm like, yeah, but this dude opened a gym. He runs a gym. I'm a coach. I know what that does. When you're coaching boxing, when you're holding pads, when you're sparring, when you're doing strength programs, when you're in it, it's not as good as a fight, but it might as well be. They always talk about if you really want to understand and learn and develop in any martial art, then coach it. And so when I found that about him, and his opponent, man, no one's talking about his opponent was very green. Both guys were 14-0 going into the fight. His opponent had a lot of natural explosivity. The shots he was landing were jumping in, not really setting him up. But I'd like to see his opponent, Aiden Palma. I'd like to see his opponent again work on his feet. I'd like to see his opponent work on his feints. Because he could crack. He had a lot of natural explosive athleticism. I would watch both guys. I would watch that rematch. Thomas Gore, geez, guys. Thank you, man. The super chats are coming through. If we made money together, then this is amazing. However you could help me, however you could assist, however you could further continue this journey of ours, whether super chatting, liking this, subscribing this. We're about 17 minutes in. We're floating between 60 and 80 on this live stream. You guys are beasts, man. We're just getting started too. Great fights. I feel everyone hit. Yeah, everyone hit the ones who were vocal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's why I mentioned earlier in the live stream about I'm not like you guys see who my plays are before the fights even take place. Guys, I already gave you a ticket this way. I forgot to tell you. So we did. There is a ticket live. I gave you a safety net parlay, 4-leg plus money, full unit. It's up on the Patreon right now, and it's up on the YouTube's member section. It's a 4-legger. It's plus 116. It's a full unit safety net parlay for this week. We got Juan Jimenez. What's up, Johnny? I'm new to your page. Do you ever bet draws? Because Barboza and Sims, I can see a draw. So I'm not a draw guy. I'm more of a. I like finding the dogs, but people in our group bet the draws. We had the boys. A couple of the boys in our Discord hit the draw. Shout out to Nick from Breaking Bad Boxing. Nick bet the draw on. It was either the Brady Ochoa fight, or he messaged me. It was the so yeah, to answer your question, I'm not a big draw guy because it's maybe one day I'll become a draw guy, but right now at this stage of the game, man, I like finding the dog. There's like a certain pump. It's hard to explain. TJ, we got Chilltown in the his. I think Chilltown hit a draw. So this is a good time for TJ tapping in. So one of the boys just asked who I picked. I know TJ hit on the draw. Nick hit on the draw. It takes a specific eye. It's a skill all in itself. The odds are obviously going to be in your favor. I think what I'm learning through the boys who hit draws, it's like find those sort of domestic level, C-level fights that are under 10 rounds, maybe an 8-rounder or a 6-rounder, and I think really do your research. I know a few of the boys hit on those sort of fights. My boy had $3 on one ticket. I know, dude. I know it kind of it's because the Zuffa card kind of asks for it, right? Somebody in the comment section, Johnny, I can't believe you put more than one dog on the same ticket. You broke your own rule. And I thought about it, but then I was like, you know what? Sometimes there are rules that should be bent or broken. It's not like they were like 7-1, 6-1, 5-1. They were just like these domestic level 50-50 fights in which I felt the bookies had the favor wrong. And so it paid off for us. So Jai needs to move up. I know I agree with that sentiment regarding competition. I just don't know if he has the physicality to do it. I don't know if he has the power to do it. I don't know if he has the. There's something about when I watch Jai. I've always said this. It's almost like a mix of a point striker. He kind of something about his offensive style to me. When he sits on his punches, I don't know, man. There's something about I can't pinpoint it. He's obviously undefeated for a reason. Scary dude, great boxer. But do I think he beats? Do I think Jai Apataya retires undefeated? I don't think so. I think that he could be. I think that he could be bullied. The thing, like Glanton was getting in there, and Glanton was, Glanton's super durable, super tough. It's just that Glanton's offensive tool set was so limited. Glanton was very limited. We knew that going in, but I felt like Jai's offense wasn't explosive enough to sort of expose Brandon's limitations, and that's why I picked the points. You got to hurt Glenn. Like it's hard. I want to see. We all want to see Jai move up. So I agree with you. I don't know how he would do there. Benny beats Jai. The David Benavidez's work. David Benavidez's work rate. David Benavidez's variety of punches. Benavidez's pressure. There's a, and I'm late to the game with me being a Benavidez fan. I used to be called. I was never a hater, but Benavidez when he came on the scene and the whole thing with Canelo, you guys remember how tribal this got. If you weren't on, if you were either on one side or the other, and in boxing forums 5 years ago, if you weren't on Team Benavidez, you were called a hater, and I was just like, man, I don't know if I want to see that fight. Canelo's 5'8". Canelo's 5'7.5". You know what I mean? I've seen Canelo fight at 152 pounds before against Floyd at 5'7". I was like, I don't know if I want to see a 6 foot plus big dude beat up on a guy who's I don't know, man. I just did. People are like, oh, you don't want to see Benavidez versus I was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I want to see David Benavidez move up. And this is what we're seeing. And so when I saw him move up from 68, when I saw him in a nice little back and forth nip and tuck affair against Morrell, when I saw this most recent version at 174 pounds, what he did to Anthony Yard, more and more, I'm like, dude, Benavidez is a freaking monster. They call him a monster for a reason. That's the fight we got to talk about. David Morrell's coming up, and I think a lot of people were just blowing past. Who's he fighting? Callum, Liam Smith. That's not this week. That's it. We got some time to talk about it. Would you love to see Jai? So Better Beef is already 41, 42 years old. I think Jai Jai Better Beef. I would see that's a good matchup. That's a good dude. I like it. That's a good matchup. I don't know where my money would be. I know Better Beef. We're getting ready to see him back again. We'll see. Johan, big up Johnny. I think Zerto beats Jai too. And that's the thing. We're going to see, man. We're going to see how Zerto looks against Benavidez. People are just really dismissing Zerto for some reason, aren't they? It's because Zerto's style, there's nothing about anything he does that kind of is like, everything is kind of, there's nothing that like jumps off the paper with Zerto. But Zerto's a good boxer. Do you think Rubio versus now? Hell nah. No. Hell to the nah. It's a great. I'm not laughing at your question. It's a great teaching point here. Emmanuel Navarrete, boy, is a Hall of Famer. Let's not get all of that twisted. Emmanuel Navarrete will go down. Already in what he's done. Multiple division world champion. Gunslinger, vaquero. Like, Rubio is not even... Rubio, I don't even know if Rubio is good enough to win a regional title or like one of those NABFs. We'll see. I don't want to sell Rubio short. He's already, what is he, 29, 30 years old. It was a great performance. and I'm cheering for him. I'm a fan. When he fights again, I'm watching. But to watch him fight like that and then say he fight Navarrete, no. There's levels for a reason. We're getting way past our boots here. The Mayweather, the draw was brutal, but glad it wasn't a loss. Mayweather, you right. I know, man. It was brutal. Could have went either way. I'm glad it wasn't a loss too. We went 100%. Because it wasn't a loss, our only loss was in UFC. We went 100% Japan, 100% Montreal. We didn't lose this week. That was crazy. We didn't lose this weekend. The only thing we lost, was I picked Max Holloway to beat Charles. And Max got that ass beat. But that's MMA. And this is what? Johnny says boxing. TJ Chilltown, the chillest of the towns. Yeah, no, I'm torn on Nonito versus Raikou. We're going to be pulling these odds up in a second. Nonito, 42, 43 years old. Every time you write this guy off, he goes and he gets out there and has a performance. Who do you like, TJ? Fighters like Rubio's, yes. Yeah, man. Super inspiring, brother. Jacob Ramos, not gonna lie, should have gotten that. It was a close fight. Both guys get dropped. Ramos has a bit of energy to him, doesn't he? He's now what, 4-1-1? Ramos has a bit of energy to him. I like blonde, bleach hair Ramos better than natural hair Ramos. But when Ramos fights again, I'm gonna watch. Max Kellerman did another. He said something during the Chenard Bunch fight. He was talking about Vlad Panin. Vlad Panin has close to 30 fights. I think Vlad Panin that was his 26th fight last night, Vlad Panin. Pro, sparring partner, late 20s, been in the camps with Tank, been in camps with Ryan. Everybody in boxing knows, in American boxing gyms knows who Vlad Panin is and was going into this fight. And the third or fourth round of the Chenard Bunch Vlad Panin fight, it was in the fourth round. Chenard wasn't giving Vlad anything, and Vlad is a guy who has to sort of like rhythm his way into his own fight. He has to you had two counter boxers going against each other, but Vlad is known to get more aggressive as a fight goes on, but he has to build himself into his fights, right? We knew that. If you watch boxing, you know how Vlad Panin fights. He has to build him. The first round of a what he looks like in the first and second does not look like what he looks like in the 6 or 7. We knew that. Kellerman had the audacity in the fourth round to say, these two guys should really look at Jacob Ramos, the guy who fought on the undercard, to see what inspiration looks like. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Jacob Ramos has 4 pro fights. It was one of the most ignorant, offensive things that I heard on a live, and most people probably didn't even pick up on it. But from a boxing perspective, to say that a guy with almost 30 pro fights should look at a guy with 5 pro fights and study him? What are you talking about, Max Kellerman? What you were trying to say, I don't even know what he was trying to say. He's such a front runner. I'm 50-50 on Max. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. His ego is hard to like. Like, Max, when you're sitting there in a studio with a Hall of Famer like Andre Ward, you don't have any room to argue with him. When it's about boxing, it's about technique, it's about strategy, it's about what you're seeing in the ring. You should never have any pushback. You're sitting next to Andre Ward, mate. You don't box. You were a failed rapper. You're not a boxer. You were a failed rapper. You're sitting there with Andre Ward, an Olympian and world champion and Hall of Famer. So whatever Dre says, it should be like, yes, boss. Yeah, it should be. It's when it comes to what they're doing with anything strategy. Johnny's safety net parlay. Full unit. Full unit. I'm already locked in. Chazza Dickens, Arnold could upset. Since we're here, Alex Roca, I'm not going to argue that. I've taped both guys. I don't think I've been high on Anthony Kakachi for the last few years. Jazza really impressed all of us going into Turkey as a 5-1 dog to beat Badr Gaziev. So we know Jazza is capable. We do know Kakachi's coming off of a surgery. The last time we saw Kakachi, he fought Lee Wood and looked great, stopped him. And last time we saw Lee Wood 3 weeks ago, he beat Josh Warrington. Good win, you know. Um, I'm comfortable with Kakachi over Jazza. I'm really comfortable with that. I think Kakachi is going to shine. I like Arnold in this fight. I'm right now 70-30 leaning Arnold Barboza in this fight. I'm a fan of Kenneth Sims Jr. Both guys are long, both guys are tall for the division. It's kind of a similar style. Anybody that Barboza Jr. fights will have the speed advantage over Barboza Jr. Where he lacks in speed, though, he makes up for it in grit, determination, volume, and pace. Kenneth Sims Jr. sometimes, because he's so skilled and a great counter boxer, kind of a boxer puncher, he sometimes gets comfortable on the ropes. He sometimes gets comfortable optically. It's a decision I'll be making in the next 48 hours. Stay tuned. Yeah, fighting Jojo Diaz. Jojo's coming up. I mean, a lot of people think Jojo beats Regis, but it's tough for me to bet money on Jojo. I like Roka in that fight. This isn't a bad lean. Kenny versus Barbosa draw. Not a bad lean. If you're leaning the draw, I'd like to ask you to ask yourself, once you identify both fighters' strategies and offensive and defensive game plans, then ask yourself what is going to lead you to the draw. Because if it is going to be a nip and tuck affair, like I think we all think it's going to be, I definitely think it goes the distance. I definitely like the over. I definitely like either guy on points. So when we're thinking about props, I don't think any guy gets dropped. I don't think either guy gets stopped, which isn't shocking. It's not like, oh, Johnny, wow, how the hell did you come up with that? If I say it's shocking, I'll let you know. Like, Jai on points was shocking. Barboza Jr. and Kenny Simmons Jr. going the distance is not shocking, okay? I think, though, it could come down to those later rounds and output and optics. So right now, I'm going to rewatch the Duarte fight. I'm going to rewatch the Jack Catterall fight. I'm going to rewatch the Teofimo Lopez fight. I just watched the Teofimo Lopez fight a week ago when we were breaking down Shakur versus Teo. I said it a couple weeks ago. Barboza Jr. fought better than people remember. Guys, we are 30 minutes in. We're floating between 80 and 100 on this live stream. Could you like this video? Join the JSB Insiders. Our world famous Discord, baby. We just broke 400. And our Patreon, we just broke 100. And our YouTube, we're approaching 28,000. So we are a growing betting community. The boys want me to rename the JSB Insider Group to the JSB Betting Academy because we're not just picking winners. We're teaching here. We're teaching strategy. We got Do You Feel Fedora isn't tough. Why wouldn't she be on the safety net? Because the odds right now on the money line, Mosby, it's $1.02. I felt guilty putting $1.07 on the safety net, but I'm waiting for props to drop on Gabby to get her by stoppage. Mike Tyler, Mike just had a dude. Shout out to follow Mike Tyler, man. We appreciate you. Pro boxer took a fight on short notice this weekend. Didn't tell anybody about it. I found out on Instagram. I found out by other people sharing his fight. I was like, oh shit, we up. So good job on that victory. Hopefully they could keep you active this year. I know you have a lot of big plans this year in the ring. What it continues your undefeated record, and hopefully we see you on a big card soon, brother. If Chilltown ever made a channel, I'll definitely check in. Hopefully he can do it one day. Random. Of course. I parlayed the dogs and took them single. Really good night. Shawnee. I want to know what it is that you see on Barbosa winning the fight against Sims that I don't see. I think Duarte is better than Washup Barbosa. And then I agree with you. Like I said, I like how he boxes. I like his decision making in there. I like how he's not a front runner. when I watch boxing, I like cheering for guys who are supposed like Barboza Jr. When you look at his skill, he's not the fastest, not the biggest, not the strongest, doesn't do anything really well. I like these sort of guys. These are guys I cheer for. I know what it's like to be an underdog. So I do have to check myself all the time I picked him as a plus 350 to go to the UK and beat Catterall, and I hit on him then. Um, we'll see. I told you, I'm not convinced he's going to win. I'm 70-30. I'm 70-30. It's a good question, though. What's up, Jay? Swindler hit hard this weekend. Me and Jai have the same name. Great name, Jai. Swindler says, baby. We got some super chats. McLovin in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the support. Guys, however you can support the channel, subscribing, liking, super chatting. If you up, we up. If we up, we all up. Let's go. Mosby. How's Barboza washed? I don't think he's washed at all. I love, dude, what do I always tell you guys? Boxing is a thinking man's sport. He's a high level thinker, high level operator. He's comfortable in a firefight. Barboza is one of these guys who fights like he punches harder than he really does. I like these sort of guys. You know what I mean? He like the way ABJ fights. He fights like he fights like he got popped. Doesn't really got popped, but he's gonna mix it up with you. He's always gonna be in a fight. And I don't know if Sims Jr.'s style over 12 rounds. I think it's a 12 rounder. Look, guys, and it's at plus money, boys. What do we do here? We swindle the banks. We look for odds. Right now, Sims Jr. is $1.60, which is a great parlay piece. But Barboza Jr. is a plus 150, boy. Come on. What are we talking about? I thought Barboza would be the favorite. That's another thing. I thought the odds makers would have ABJ as the favorite. I'm actually shocked Sims is the favorite here. Yeah, they got 12 rounds to mix it up, man. They got 12 rounds to mix it up. I'm a Sims Jr. fan. I picked Sims Jr. to beat Oscar. You know, that didn't go my way. The Kendo fight. Other than that, not a lot. I mean, he has a win over Elvis Rodriguez. That was early. Drew with Montana Love, early days. Hasn't been the most active. Handful of fights since 2020. Damn, that Elvis Rodriguez fight was 5 years ago. He did fight twice last year, once in 2024, and then once a year since then. I could talk myself into. Look, Barboza Jr. is one of my favorite fighters. You guys are going to call me crazy. I love watching Barboza Jr. fight. Only because I like a guy. He's like a seeker. Seeker. Not like a missile seeker, but he knows when he's in there and he's outmatched. You see a guy in his decision making that he's always seeking a way to win. He's always finding a way. I love that about his style, mate. The ref for Giant Glen. Oh. What do we say about the ref? Are we too hard on refs? So this is the fight, though. So look, every time Barboza Jr. fights, from this fight week until he retires, everybody brings this fight up. But look, he fought Sean McComb before JC Ramirez, before Jose Ramirez, and he fought him before Catterall. And he beat both guys. And I had to deal with this comment. Okay, he still beat. I mean, he wins close fights. Pedraza, look who he's beaten. He has wins over Alex Aceto, Antonio Moran, Zorilla, Pedraza, Donjeni, McComb, Ramirez, Catterall, Fateo. His resume's better. Way more better. His resume's a level above Sims Jr.'s resume. Jai beats Benavidez. If they fight, I think Benavidez meets his. Ooh, doggy. I hope they fight. We got Johnny. What's up, bro? Hey, just getting in here. But you the GOAT. You the GOAT. Rest in peace to the haters. All you haters, rest easy. Guys, we're 40 minutes in. We're floating between 80 and 100 in this live stream. Like the video. Let me know how you did this past weekend. We got super chats coming in still. You guys, 40 minutes in, still getting super chatty. You guys are beasts. Benavidez is too flat-footed to beat Jai. Look, I'm not going to disagree with you. David has a fight with Zerto coming up, and Jai just beat Glanton. I know boxing is a sport of, what do we say? What have you done for me lately? Sometimes let's just let the Jai versus Glanton win simmer. Let's focus on Dave versus Zerto, and then we'll continue this conversation. This is an ongoing conversation. It's an important chat to have. There's just something about Jai's game that I don't like. I don't like. You can't be both. Okay, you can't be this dangerous, scary knockout artist and then also use the entire ring the whole time. You can't be both. Like, I see a guy, nobody said it. I mean, how come no one was like, Jai was running against Clanton? How come no one's saying that? Because if they said that against Shakur, they said Shakur against Edwin De Los Santos. Shakur was running. Shakur ran the whole time. I mean, Jai used the entire ring the whole time. I mean, it's smart game plan because we know what Glanton wants to do. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done that. He fought smart. He's a good boxer, high fight IQ. But there's just certain things you don't see Benavidez out. Benavidez ain't fighting you like that. I don't know, man. There's just certain things about his style that I'm not convinced. I just don't think Jai's that. I don't think he's going to retire undefeated. I'll just leave it at that because I know I'm going to get I got a lot of hate for picking Jai to beat Brandon on points. I live in Australia. I know I'm going to get a lot. I get a lot of hate for this take. It's not to say he's super tough, he's super talented, he's a good boxer. I think sometimes in a fight, he sometimes struggles with his identity. Like, what are you? What's your style? Are you a slugger? Are you a boxer puncher? Are you a counter boxer? Or like there maybe that's the double-edged sword of being so talented. He's so talented, he has so many more options than anyone else he fights. I don't know, man. There's just something about his style that I'm not convinced with. We got a new JSB Insider. Bando Boys, JSB Insider. Damn, we're approaching 410 in our Discord. Bando, after this live stream, this is for all the JSB Insiders who don't have the Discord link because, you know, we grow new people every day. Go to the members only section on YouTube. I'll just put it up real quick. I'm going to do it real quick. So if you're a JSB Insider and you're not in the Discord, go to the members section and I'm going to post the link right now. Channel members. All right, so for all the new insiders, the Discord link is posted in the members only section. I appreciate you too, man. We're a team out here. Thank you for the super chat. Benny season. King pound for pound. What's up, Johnny and the Kills? Momentum right now. We got some momentum. We got some momentum. Life, I always talk about, guys, life is about creating momentum. Life literally is about momentum, whether it's negative or positive. And a lot of times in our lives, and I'm just speaking from experience, when I was in dark times, that's momentum too. You just kind of get caught in this pattern of behavior of making bad decisions, hanging around with the wrong people, self-sabotage, and then it's hard to see it turning around. But at the same time, through healthy daily habits, waking up at a proper time, going to bed at a proper time, drinking water, eating real foods, not putting toxic substances into your mind and body, you could create positive momentum. This is just fun. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is fun. Barboza Sims, who you got? Bando Boys, he up. TJ, we've been asking him to do it for a while. If I got open spots, I got some time this week to jump on. Yo. PJ, 100. Jay Husky, quick comments on Jai Glanton referee, please. 5 seconds. Yeah, the ref. I don't like when refs get involved, guys. We should any fight we ever watch. If ever one of us has to say, hey, what's up, buddy? What do you think of the ref? The ref didn't do his job. A ref should be there to facilitate. He shouldn't be there to operate. That ref, more and more these refs are trying to operate as part of the storyline. You're supposed to facilitate. The best refs, we shouldn't see you. Do you? And especially knowing styles, you know that that's where Glanton likes to fight. That's his style. And it's not like Jai was arguing or Glanton was. They were doing old school, dude. There was a little bit of Sonny Liston in Brandon Glanton. Lock that arm, get inside, this sort of thing. The optics on Brandon Glanton, man. There were multiple times where I thought he was ready to go, but it's just how he slips front forward, and Jai was trying to time, because he's Jai South, Glanton slipping right knee side, and the camera angle we'd see Glanton's back, and his feet are just yeah, very awkward, and they would link up arm in arm in the pocket and then just do this sort of thing. And some refs let you do it. I wish he would have let it go down. 100, dude. Navarrete boys. It seems like it happened 14 years ago, but Navarrete versus Sugar Nunez. We want to, guys. It's kind of what we do. We won a lot of money on Navarrete against Sugar. Do we have a dog? We'll find you one, boys. Right now I'm 70-30 on ABJ. Arnold Barboza Jr. is a plus 150. I'm close to pulling the trigger. Like I said, I'm going to rewatch Kenneth Sims Jr. versus Duarte. And I'm going to rewatch Barboza Jr. versus Catterall. I already watched the Lopez fight. I'm going to send messages out. I want to see who Barboza Jr. has been sparring with. I want to know Kenny Sims, who he's been sparring with. I want to make sure and remind myself who their corners are. I'm gonna, I know Barboza Jr. he just turned 34. There's a lot to look into, but you guys are gonna be seeing a lot of me this week. PJ the promoter, the big spender. Is it at 147? I didn't know it was at, see? The chat is educated. I didn't know it was at 147. Bro, people sleep on Barboza Jr., mate. Okay, so Kenny gives up too much ground at times. That's why his fight against Duarte didn't go his way. Arnold, this is exactly why I'm 70-30. Guys, I don't see either guy stopping each other. I don't think either guy has the type of power to get the sort of respect it takes to make their opponents sway to a plan B. So once we highlight the fact that neither guy, Sims Jr., doesn't have the power to make Barboza Jr. sway from plan A to plan B. What's plan A, Barboza Jr.? Front foot, pressure, put a pace on you. If there's no power coming back in which he feels that he's going to have to, go into a plan B, I think the optics, mid to late rounds, of Sims being a little bit too patient, a little bit too comfortable on the ropes, a little bit too sort of agreeing upon sitting back and countering. I think the optics of an Arnold Barboza Jr. style, mid to late rounds, volume, front foot, could be enough to win rounds. That's what I'm thinking. And you guys, we're not picking winners because we like one guy and we dislike the other. I like Sims Jr. I've watched his whole career. Not many fighters coming out of Chicago. You know what I mean? We're looking at it. Where we pick our winners, though, are based on game plans, strategies, execution, path to victories. Sims not having that sort of power, man. I thought going into fight week, Sims would be the underdog. Barboza Jr. is the underdog. Somebody mentioned the weight. I do have to. Give me another 24 to 36 hours. Yo, Johnny, you a dangerous man. High interest. We're dangerous together, man. It's our group. I don't take all the credit. Like the Otana pick in Japan, that was all Breaking Bad boxing Nick. You know what I mean? Some of the picks with our Zuffa card picks, that was us as a group talking it throughout the week. That's why if you're new to the channel, guys, it's not me standing on a throne saying I'm the best in the world. I'm the greatest better in the world. Hell no. It's not about me. The secret to our success as a group is this chat. Is having open dialogue conversation, being open-minded enough. I've switched bets before. This past week, I was on Rayo in Japan until Nick sent me a video and him talking about his film study, and it was an 8-second video of Otana in the pocket against in his last fight. And I shared that into our Discord group. I shared it on the live stream. I said, hey, Nick left me one of these messages where I know he went down a deep, deep investigative rabbit hole. One of rabbit holes that only Breaking Bad does. I was like, I'm buying in on it. I was like, if it wins, give all the flowers to Nick. If it loses, it's on me. So it's a team effort, man. It really is. You got to be open minded enough though to be able to learn from people. What guys? One of the so I used to work for a leadership and personal development company. I don't talk about it a lot in Las Vegas. I got I went to graduate school. My master's degree is in leadership and personal development. So I used to teach this to corporates, Fortune 500 sort of people working their way up to becoming CEOs. Everything from public speaking to how to project your voice, how to get a promotion, this sort of thing. And we had a rules of leadership. One of the highest rules of leadership is it's okay to ask questions, and the greatest leaders lead with their ears. You can't just be a vocal guy. Granted, I'm the guy talking all the time because it's my channel, but I'm listening equally as much. Hands off, Gabriella. I would fight Clarissa before I fight her. Gabby's so fun to watch. Dave Harley in the house. Sorry, late to the live. Well done, Johnny. What do you reckon, Carol? Is Jono a dog right now? We'll get on to all that. Look, I'm gonna go live again today. It's 8:51. We're 52 minutes into this live. We still have 88 people in this live stream. Like this video, full transparency. It's Tuesday at 8:51 a.m. I have a client at 12 p.m. in my house, a strength and conditioning client. After this, I'm going to do some film study. I'm going to rewatch Sims Jr. versus Duarte, and I got to rewatch Barboza Jr. and Catterall. I'm going to go live again today at 1 p.m. Hopefully by 1 p.m. I'll have my pick for Barboza Jr. or Sims. Then tomorrow I'm doing a Stats Don't Lie video for Sims and Barboza Jr. I'm doing a Stats Don't Lie video for Najee Lopez and Manny Gallegos. That's 2. And I'm going to do a Kakachi versus Jazza 3. Dude, Oscar Gallegos fight. People sleep on Oscar Caiazzo, boy. Oscar Caiazzo's a beast. If Oscar Caiazzo was 122 pounds, he'd be a star. Sugarcane, we got our meeting, brother. Oh, shit, you're taking Jazza. We got Jazza on this weekend to go. See, this is why it's so tough, Sugar. Because I don't know many people who picked Jazza to beat Badr Ghazi, but if you did, you hit a plus 500. The issue is, you think he could beat Kakachi. So I heard a UK YouTuber talking about go to ESBR Boxing. Shout out to the boys there. I don't agree with everything anyone says. You know, they mentioned, somebody on the ESBR squad mentioned that there's rumors floating around that Jazza might be on something. Did anybody hear that? Based on his punching power as of late at this stage of his career. That's what I mean. You see that? ABJ, great value play. It's kind of what we do. What we do, we look for value. What's the word? What, guys? 2026, January 1st live stream. I have to bring it up all the time. What did I say? The word of the year is, from me to you, value. Am I a man of my word? Have I been holding true to that promise from January 1st live stream? I'm going to bring value, more value to the boys. Every ticket we drop, plus value money. Think about the dogs we've hit since January. Value. Arnold Barboza Jr. at plus 150, value. Barboza is huge, tough, lengthy for junior lightweight. Is this fight at 47 or 40? I'm somebody said in the chat it's at 47. I mean, that's the first I heard of this. It's at welterweight. Holy shit. I mean, Kenneth Sims Jr. is 32, Barboza Jr. is 34. Barboza's 5'9", Kenny's 5'10". Barboza has a 3-inch reach advantage. Barboza's the A side. You think Andy Dawson live against Stephen Kenneth? He was the favorite against Mitchell Smith. I have to look into it. I saw it on my book, though, GM. It's on my book. It's why I didn't put that on a parlay yet. Guys, if you're a JSB insider, check the YouTube members post section and check the Patreon post section. I gave you guys a ticket already. Our safety net parlay is live. It's a 4-legger. It's a full unit parlay. Plus 116, 4 on the money line. I'm 70-30 with my pick for Barboza versus Sims. I'm waiting for props to drop on Gabby Fundora. And we have a long parlay coming in. There's MMA fights. We have a lot of money to make once again this weekend. And it's going to be another team effort. Haven't seen the history vault in a minute. I don't think Barboza tried against Taylor, so it makes this. You know what it is, guys? I feel when you guys rewatch the entire Times Square card, think about the importance a crowd plays on a fighter. Think about the importance the energy of a room plays on you. Think about how we react to the energy around us, whether negatively or positively. You're telling me a sport such as boxing, in which it's all energy, feeling the crowd, hearing the echoes of the arena, hearing the chants, how much that benefits a fighter. To remove that from the zeitgeist, from the ethos of a boxing card, you look at the you look at the performances. Look at how Ryan Garcia performed against Raleigh. I'm not going to say it's because of A, B, C, or D, but I'm going to say it's interesting to think about. I mean, and then you look at the performance Ryan put on against Mario. The crowd. You can make an argument that not having the crowd at Times Square affected all of the fighters. Set free. What up, Jay Money? Finally caught you live. I don't want to pick against my shit. I'm a Sims Jr. fan too, but that plus money on Barboza looks good. Yeah, I like Kenny, man. I like cheering for the Chicago guy. I like his style, man. He's clean. But this is a great matchup, man. This for the guys out there who really like the boxing as a thinking man sport. Now, this isn't going to be a blood brawl. This isn't going to be a fight in which, barbarians are going to try to knock each other's heads off. I think it will be a firefight, though. I think this is going to be a count. You're going to see some great catch and shoots. You're going to see some counter boxing. You're going to see some traps. You're going to see some good jabs. You're going to see some good flurries. You're going to see some good combos, some good footwork. You're going to see a lot of good things in this matchup, man. I'm very excited about this matchup. That's the so boys, Barboza. I like the fight to go the distance. I like there to be 0 knockdowns. I like whoever wins on points. Right now, I'm 70-30 on Barboza to win money line. Barboza on points might be the prop of the week. PJ, we told you that. and this was beef I was getting on my Instagram. Brandon Glenn's gonna get knocked out. Jai's gonna knock. I was like, bro, I'm picking Jai to win on points, not because of Jai. I'm picking Jai to win on points because I know how durable Glanton is. This is another thing, guys. When you're picking your picks, when you're deciding where to put your money on, it's not always about focusing on the one guy. A lot of times when we win, especially with prop bets or underdogs, it's more about who they're fighting. You could definitely pick said fighter to win, but the reasons are all about the other guy. Like, people got pissed that I was picking Jai, their fighter. Jai fans were pissed that I was picking Jai to win on points. That's how crazy boxing is when you think about it. Doesn't help the Jai fights on Sundays and for some of us Monday nights. True. Rudy! What do you think about Freshmore? We haven't even got to it. Freshmore's fighting versus Iwata. That's that dude. That whole Japanese card is off the hook, man. We have a lot to. We have the Pro Box card with Najee and and Manny Gallegos. We have the Freshmore card. I think Nonito Donaire's on that card in Japan. We obviously have the Golden Boy card. There's a lot of fights, dude. We got to get to work. Benavidez got skills to go unnoticed. Look at the plant win. Plant is up. It's crazy to say, man. I see Benavidez adding a little bit to his game each fight. It's not like he's leveled off. And shout out to Ryan Garcia. I don't, you guys know me. I'm not the biggest Garcia fan. But on that point right there, what I just made about Benavidez, shout out to Ryan Garcia with adding the right hand to his offense. I didn't think that'd be possible at this stage of his game. Watching him add that backhand against Barrios, when everybody, that just tells me the kid was switched on. He focused a lot in training. He did a lot of skill work, and he drilled that right hand. I love when I see fighters do that, especially when I'm proven wrong about thinking that a guy is already leveled off and can't add any more skills. And then you go and see a Ryan Garcia performance, and he starts throwing his backhand. Shout out to Garcia for that. It's just not easy to do. Manny, do you think Gabby, Oscar? Yes, I do. I do. I'm waiting. Oscar Kayatsu is one of my favorite fighters to watch. I always say if Kayatsu was 122 pounds, he'd be a star. But because he's so tiny, the average boxing fan isn't going to give him time of the day. Gabby Fundora, I'm waiting for Fundora's fight props to drop probably in about 2 to 3 days. Gabby by knockout. We got Johan Tons in the house. JSB Insider. Guys, for all the new JSB Insiders who are just getting here, go to my YouTube members only section. Click the link to get into the Discord, and welcome to the JSB Betting Academy. Shout out to the boys in the Discord for pitching that name on me. We're JSB Insiders, but Johnny says Boxing Betting Academy. We're a school around here. Maxie Hughes looked good for the first 5 Umanov fight. This is a fight. We have a lot to talk about. This is the Japanese card, Pro Box card, UK card, Golden Boy card. God damn, we have a lot of fights, boys. Am I down with Zuffa? I always talk about this. I work for myself. I'm an entrepreneur. I do multiple things. I only rely on me for my livelihood. That being said, I only say that because in business, competition is good. Wherever you are in your life, if you're around people who act as if competition is bad, they are living their life in a scarcity mindset. You have to live life in an abundance mindset rather than saying, oh, I can't believe they're doing this. They're just, another boxing league. What are they doing? No. And a new boxing league, a new boxing promoter, it's great for the sport. I love how I'm learning. I turned 44 in April. I love that we could still learn in life. I didn't know who Rubio was. I didn't know who a lot of these guys were. And now I found myself doing tape because there's a new boxing promotion and they're having fights every week like Zuffa, and the matchmaking has been great. I think it's great. Now all the politics aside, I don't give a shit. I'm not a politics guy. The whole belt thing and that's not up to me. You guys come to see me and I get to know you based off of you saying, who do I see winning this fight? And then us making money on it. So that's all I care about. Giving us opportunities to watch the greatest sport on earth, to do film study on guys that I've never even heard of, and then them give us good fights. Hell yeah, I'm on board. After you predicted Jai decision, I'm not. You can still doubt me, man. No. Please look. This is it. We know how. You can still doubt me. The one thing though that you shouldn't doubt is that I'm not. I'll never give you a pick without reason. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with me. We don't want everyone agreeing. The minute we're floating between 90 and 110 right now. We're an hour into this live stream, which is great. Our channel is growing substantially. The minute that all 90 of us agree on something, guys, we've created an echo chamber. We want discourse. We want disagreement on fights. This is how we could come to a better understanding of who we should put our money on. So it's not that you always doubt me, but never doubt that I will always give you my picks based on my reason. It's not like I'm just that they're gonna win because they're the dog. They're gonna win because they're a big favorite. No, they're gonna win because this is how they're gonna win. I like the Zuffa cards too. Rob Lee in the house. Skills pay the bills. Skills, we're gonna need your advice on the UFC, man. There's a lot. This is one of those UFC fight night cards that I know a lot of guys make money on. Not a lot of huge names. Um, so I'm interested in hearing your. I actually like Pierce O'Leary in this fight. It's not my official pick. I know people are getting sexy on Maxie Hughes. I actually like Pierce O'Leary in this fight, but I'll make it. I'll make it official in the next 48 hours. Thurman Fandora. I think Seb dominates Thurman. Sorry, that's not official, but right now, as of now, I could see Seb stopping Keith Thurman. It's Keith Thurman is not 26 years old. He's 37. Keith Thurman has had 2 fights since 2019. 2 or 3 fights. Brock Jarvis at 140 pounds got knocked out against Liam Paro at 140. Keith Thurman's only fight at 154 was against Brock Jarvis. Since 2019, Keith Thurman has fought, I think, 2 or 3 times. Seb Fandora gets better and better every fight. 6'6", 28, 29-year-old. Freaking 11-inch height difference, a 10-inch reach difference, aggressive, punches down, dude. I think Seb steamrolls Keith. That's not official, though. That's me getting impulsive out here. It's never official until you see that ticket on the Discord or in the Patreon. What's up, my boy? Call it. What's up, brother? I'm always trying to join these lives. Time in Chicago. We got the shot. What if somebody from the shot of Wazil got a deal on the hottest rap label around? But it wasn't talking about coca word. It's more like spoken word. Plus, I'm really putting it down. And you could tell the story of Chicago. Saludo. A slow pace beginning benefits Sims. Arnold Barboza later rounds probably wins the later rounds. This is what we're. This is a good fight, guys. If you're torn on ABJ versus Sims, distance, points, over. There's a lot of props on this fight. Guys, we're over an hour. We're going between 85 and over 100. We should have at least 80 likes on this video. Can we get 80? I don't think I've ever had 80 likes on a video. You better get you get better at betting when you listen to the opposing person's opinions. Yes, Eddie. So they love Eddie just literally gave away that this is our secret. But you know what, Eddie? It's also a skill though to be able to be open-minded enough to listen. I'm not gonna like. There's a lot of narcissistic minds in what we do here. Like you could tell if somebody's a narcissist in the way they speak about themselves. So a narcissistic personality wouldn't be able to listen to others. They wouldn't be able to change their opinion. It's their way or the highway. If you've ever been around a narcissist, you'll know what I'm talking about. Betting, the people who gamble and give it, they kind of feel that they have to be narcissistic because how are people going to follow them if them themselves don't think they're the best? Well, I think that's a double-edged sword. I think the secret to our sauce is that we're open-minded enough to listen to everybody. This is why the chat is always live. You guys can see the chat on the screen. I bring you boys on when you want to debate. It's a team effort, man. Najee Lopez by decision. Yeah, I like Najee in this fight. I don't have any props yet on Pro Box. I like Pro Box, guys. The Pro Box fights are some of my favorite fights. This is another guy that I don't mind, dude. This is another guy that I don't mind. What? See, maybe because I grew up boxing and I was the smallest kid in the gym. I was 7 years old, dude. Nothing. No power, no speed. I was a runt. No heart. Like nothing. The only thing I had was I didn't. DNA wise, I didn't mind. I liked to fight. At 7 years old, that's all I had was I liked to fight. At 7, you could develop the skills, and that's what happened. As I grew in the sport as a fan, I tend to like and cheer for guys who are that way. Like I like watching Catterall. Catterall's a great backhand. What are you talking? Like if it takes me 12 rounds to watch Jack Catterall throw his backhand timed 4 times, I'll do it. I'm a nerd though. I don't expect you guys. Let me watch tape so you don't have to. But like I'll say it again, if I have to watch a Jack Catterall fight, a 10 rounder, just to see him beautifully time that backhand, I'll do it. Dude, it's poetry when it happens. Brendan V, Johnny on a tear. We're on a tear, boy. It's us. Can you do a pull? Yes, I'll put the pull. Guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, go to Johnny Stavko. Follow me. Be like, hey, Jay, it's so and so from YouTube. I'll follow you back. I do all of this sort of stuff, polls, daily news ticker on my Instagram story. So, like right here. But I'll add the poll. Yeah, so like right here, that's our Discord. So I was talking about this earlier. One of the sneaky biggest benefits of joining the Discord is the live betting during fights. Seeing and being able to pick the mind of guys like TJ, guys like Nick, guys like we have like 5 guys with the name King that are all beasts, and everybody else. It's just a constant chat of hey, it's the third round. Is this guy live? Well, he's live, but the draw's live. Hey, I'm gonna smash the draw, and then boom, it's a huge benefit, man. It's that's why I always say it's a community. I understand what people say that, but what about? No, you're right. Well, the energy thing. I'm gonna fight to go the distance on Kenny and Barboza on my parlay. Not gonna stress it on separate. Nice, good strategy, brother. Only a theory, but I think Grant was pippy as he's durable. I agree. No, they somebody said, did Jai's dad go off at the press conference? Did you catch the zoo? Did you catch the zoo for conference with Dana? He's talking about 40 more events this year. I'm here for it, man. They're trying to do an event every week. If they do an event every week, do you know how many more fighters we're gonna get to know? Do you know how many more opportunities we're gonna have to win? Do you know how many more times the bookies are gonna get it wrong? I'm all about it, Rando, and I know you are too because you're a beast. Who do you want to see Keyshawn fight next? So Keyshawn, he needs to say switched on. I know he's been streaming a lot. I'm a big fan of Keyshawn Davis. I'll watch anytime Key fights. I'm watching. J Side guys, stay tuned. Appreciate everybody.